Welcome, Fedi Friends, to episode 20 of Fireside Fedi. I'm your host, Ozoned. Fireside Fedi is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're seeing this, you are a part of the Fediverse. With me today is Booteille. Booteille was a volunteer to Framasoft for 3 years, then became a co-president, which was a volunteer position as well, and then got hired by Framasoft and stepped down from his volunteer position. Booteille seems to wear many different hats around Framasoft, from interviews, conventions, building donation campaigns, to sysadmin tasks, website tweaks, etc. Booteille describes the goal with Framasoft is to help as much as I can the organization and our goals, raising awareness about digital issues and helping to build a society fitting our values. Very excited to finally have the show, as we've had to reschedule numerous times, schedule conflicts, that I was sick for a few weeks, and Booteille is finally getting over being sick as well. And another issue that I had was I forgot to hit record at the very beginning of the video. So where you're coming in at is when I asked Booteille what got him to where he's at today. So you've only missed a little bit, and enjoy the rest of the show.
I just try to build a better world because I hate our society right now, and I really want to live in a better society. So just build it.
No, I mean, I think we can all agree that's a very common classic feeling, right? Like, I think we could do better. Most people, though, just accept it. Like, well, this is how the world is. We can't change it. But a young Booteille was like, no, that's bullshit. I'm going to change it. What did you do? Like, how did you start out with, I'm just going to change it? Did you immediately find Framasoft? You're like, I'm going to volunteer there, or?
No, actually, I was owning a website where I was hosting manga online. You could read manga on my website, and so I was living from advertisements and everything. And on my website, you had a chat, and I've met a guy. I never known his identity. But we used to talk a lot together about a lot of different stuff. And once I wanted to share with him a music I found on YouTube, and he told me I don't watch YouTube, I don't use YouTube. And this guy told me why he didn't want to use YouTube, and explained to me that YouTube is thought to build people against, I don't know how to say in English, but yeah, to push people to fight each other.
Yeah.
And so I started to study the subject, especially after he sent me a video about my colleague, my actual colleague, Pig. Pig was doing a conference explaining why he wants to de-Google the world with Framasoft and to provide a lot of services as alternatives to Google or Microsoft or whatever. And after this conference, I discovered a new world. I discovered a lot of new, I don't know, answers about why this world is so. I don't know how to say, but is going is so chaotic, and
Yeah.
so I started to study digital issues, reading studies about it, reading articles, and slowly I started to being able to talk about it. And that's
Okay.
how I met Framasoft. I was on Mastodon. I was um, publishing articles about digital hygiene, and finally they said, "Okay, let's meet together." Then I joined them.
And this was what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Maybe 4. I think it's 4
4?
years ago,
Okay.
but yeah, I have issues to remember exactly when.
No, I mean, that's moving pretty fast, and it's only been getting faster from there. Like, I've been on the Fediverse since about 2017, 2018, and to seeing the speed that it's accelerated is kind of mind
Yeah.
blowing. Like we get those, we at first it's that, you know, it's just for nerds and extreme privacy rights issues people, and then you start to see what's happening with big tech in Silicon Valley. It's like, no, they are showing flat out that they're fine saying they own you and they own your content, and then we see those big massive injections of people. So I
Yeah,
can
we,
only
we, we we can definitely see waves of people
right.
coming into the Fediverse, and at each waves, the scale of the Fediverse is growing, and that's nice because it's let us some time to prepare for the next wave. Because I don't know if you remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter,
Oh yeah.
we had like maybe millions of people coming at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, and it was really disturbing. The Fediverse I knew before didn't exist anymore after this wave, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But it's good to have time to prepare because we need to
Oh
be
yeah.
welcoming to each other and to be able to build a resilient community. I
And
think so.
I've talked to people before that's like, oh well, the Fediverse is shrinking again, and my only thought is, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here until the very last stand. So there are a finite amount of people you're going to leak, but let's just wait until the next the next wave that is will inevitably happen, right? Like no one
Yeah.
no one really, you know, everyone still has an email address and uses an email address, and tech will move on, but our lines of communication that I feel that we're setting up are going to exist forever. And folks like yourself at Framasoft, you guys just keep plowing ahead. So Framasoft, do you want to talk about Framasoft? What, because when originally, so just to let folks know, this is a bit different of an interview for Booteille in that Framasoft is seen as kind of collective. They don't section out each person and hold them up as like a rock star developer or something. It takes everyone, which I 100% agree on. Like you can only do one piece. Even if you could be good at it, all of it, you have a finite amount of time, right? So do you want to talk about how, if you are aware, how Framasoft got set up, you know, what your current goals are and what you guys are looking for the future?
In general, you are talking in general,
Yeah, whatever
general
you want to
goals.
talk about. Yeah, yeah.
I think, yeah, our goals came slowly. We started to build just a website where you could find free softwares for educational purposes, then free software for everything. Then we understood that free software is not the final goal. The final goal is to
Mm-hmm.
build a better society, and free software is a way, a necessary way to go there, but it's not the final goal. And so by analyzing the society and the fact that we wanted to build something different, a better digital environment, we started to think differently. And now our goals are to help people which are trying to build a better world, which are, I don't know, ecological collectives, or a sports club, or whatever is good for people. We want to help them to do it outside of Google, Amazon, Microsoft, or whatever. So our goals actually it's just to, yeah, to prepare a digital environment healthy for people.
So it's, I mean, that's, and it's funny that you state it so plainly. Right? We've gotten so far away from this idea that like every average person I talk to has gotten to the point of, well, they offer me a service, they're gonna spy on me, which I call it's surveillance, right? It really is come to the point where it's surveillance capitalism, so that they can make a buck off of you, and people just don't even bother thinking of it anyway. But you talk about like kids groups or something. We can all agree that no one should really be spying on or surveilling groups for children. I don't want some random group of people standing there watching my kid play soccer or do his homework. Like, that's weird. But yet in technology, we've accepted that. That's just how it is. And Framasoft has said no. It doesn't have to be that way. And it's a bold thing. And again, I was talking to you earlier about, like, I started a nonprofit, and I'm sure you guys have gotten this question. It's like, well, who are your competitors? It's like, oh, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, and people think you're nuts. Like,
Actually, we don't say we are competitors to big techs, because we know that we don't play with the same power, with the same means. We don't have enough money to be real competitors to Google and Facebook or whatever. But what we can do is building alternatives,
right.
alternative spaces where people can come whenever they want, and that's just it. We don't want to build PeerTube, as an example, as the big competitor to YouTube. We want PeerTube to be
Mm-hmm.
good for people and to be thought. So any people who wants to share their videos on the internet can do that without giving rights on their videos, on their on their videos to Google or to Vimeo or to Dailymotion or whatever.
Choice. It really
Yeah,
comes down to that,
exactly.
right? You are trying to give choice back to the people, and I've talked to other people, and I said, I read a book about the Wright brothers, and the Wright brothers had this idea that we are not salesmen. We don't want to sell to you if you don't want to buy. That's not our goal. Our goal is to create an excellent product that you want to buy, and you come to us. And I see that as the same way. I've talked to folks, and they're like, well, how are you going to get people from YouTube? It's like, that's not, I'm not. If their only interest is pushing to YouTube and monetizing via YouTube, there's no way I can do that. I'm, one guy built on the back of some folks that give out their software for free. We're here to give people a choice that think, there's a better way, and that maybe not necessarily they have to make $1 million off of a video. They could just go back to having fun making videos, and if the money comes, great. And so I love PeerTube. PeerTube, the show is hosted on PeerTube. I've done some live streams to PeerTube. Is that Framasoft? So I guess what product or project did Framasoft start with? And I would assume, like, kind of all projects are seen equally there. So we'll start there. How did Framasoft start? Like, what project or idea? Do you know?
For Framasoft, not for PeerTube? Yeah.
Framasoft. It was PeerTube first?
Yeah. No, PeerTube is one of the recent projects, I could say, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's now we are working on it for 7 years now. But now the first project was just a list of free softwares you could use as a teacher to be able to give lessons without having to pay a software. Because co-founders of Framasoft were teachers. That's where the name of Framasoft come from. Frama is français and mathematics, so French and mathematics, and software. So they were looking for softwares helping them to teach.
So, I mean, and that's an amazing thing, in that we just want to create a website, to give people alternative choices. So I'm assuming that ActivityPub then as well was not ever really planned, and then the software was a secondary thought, and it's like, well, we can go one further. We can give people choices as well. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, I think so. And Yeah, I just think so. Nothing to add.
No, and that's fine. If you're not, I don't expect you to. You've only been with for a couple of years. I don't expect you to know the whole history or anything like that. So right now, you on Framasoft. So there's and I'm not certain how to pronounce this, and I apologize. I told Booteille I had 2 years of French, and I couldn't even remember bonjour earlier when we when we met. So I am not a linguist in the least. But um, Googleisons internet.org,
Yes,
is that how you
yes.
pronounce it?
We in English we translated it as the Google Effie, but
Okay,
it's not an easy one.
right.
Yeah,
So and here they list all kinds of tools. Sepia search. There's Frama Games. Some things I've never even heard of before. Frama Agenda, Frama Date. There's Frama Talk, which we're actually talking on Jitsi. Is it a similar to Jitsi?
yeah. It's GT. But just an
Oh,
instance we host for free for people.
okay. So and then Framasoft again. They don't just create everything because why reinvent the
No.
wheel? Jitsi works amazingly well. I'm absolutely shocked how well Jitsi has worked for all of these conversations I've had. Um,
Yeah, they did a lot of progress after the COVID crisis because a lot of people started to use the software. As we did, we during the COVID, a lot of people, like thousands and thousands people were using Jitsi on by using Framasoft, Framatalk, and yeah, it just worked.
so how would you define your current role at Framasoft? How many people are there, and how do you define your current role?
We are 10 employees and 25 volunteers.
Okay,
So yeah, just we are not a lot.
no, that's small, and for those that aren't aware, like again, you and I were talking, PeerTube itself is essentially created and run by one person, right? Chocobos.
Yeah, we only hired a new developer last year. Um, the year before, but yeah, it's like 1 or 2 years with another developer, and he's working mostly on the mobile app and not on the core software. So yeah, chocobos and some people from the community which helped during years, but yeah,
Yeah, I think
one person.
Google has a little bit more than 50 employees. I could be wrong though. I've never checked.
I think so.
Yeah, but it all like again, since I've been running PeerTube, you guys have a Matrix channel, you have the GitHub, it's very active on the GitHub. What is another project that you see as kind of a focus or has been getting a lot of attention from Framasoft?
Y- Sorry, can you repeat?
So I'm very familiar with PeerTube, and I've
Mm.
used Mobilizen, I believe is what it's called, which is
Ah, yeah, mobilism. Yes.
what though is another project that seems to be getting like a lot of attention. That is because in my opinion, PeerTube at the moment for me is like the big software that is helping me move forward a lot. I never used social media though.
Actually, we PeerTube is really one of our biggest projects, but we in Framasoft don't develop a lot of softwares, as you said before. If you check the list on the googlefi.org, you will see that most softwares behind our services are made by other people. And so we have another big project we launched 2 years ago, I think, which is called From a Space. And From a Space is
Okay.
a project where we want to host 10,000 Nextcloud for 10,000 non-profit organizations for free.
Oh wow.
So
That's
it's kind of a big project because it could really help a lot of people as I said before, to build a better society and to leave Dropbox, to leave Google, to leave Microsoft. So I could say it's one of our biggest projects now.
no, and that's amazing because I was literally talking to someone earlier today, or well, I guess it was yesterday. Um, my community is very technical, and one of them was like,
Okay.
hey, if you want help with this, why don't we set up a Trello board, and you can start writing down different things that we need to do, and as long as you give me access, I can start doing them for you. And then I was like, I wonder if I need to set up Nextcloud. But Nextcloud is heavy, and there's a lot to that, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to go fully into something like that. But that's great, because we should all have access to something like that, in my opinion, without having to sacrifice our privacy and our data. Especially, it seems like in Europe, a lot of folks are very disenfranchised with big tech that is fully built out of the United States. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yeah, I think so. And actually, a lot of people in France uh, are really our government is really pushing for Microsoft and pushing for a lot of stuff. But a lot of people are aware that we shouldn't push our services, use host our data on American servers because of the Patriot Act, of the Cloud Act, and everything. So, so yeah, we had a lot of requests to try to do something better, I think.
Do you see? So, as is Framasoft actively involved in trying to get politicians there to understand, like, we don't have to rebuild all of this stuff because it exists out there, and you should be using this free and open source stuff?
We don't talk to politics anymore. Maybe with some exceptions, but we don't do it anymore because we write an article, blog post years ago saying we won't take the a cup of tea anymore with the Ministry of Education, because they asked to us a lot of questions. They took a lot of our time, and nothing happened. There was a new contract with Microsoft some weeks ago again, and so we
Mm.
didn't want to lose our time. We are an organization which prefers to act, to propose stuff. So we don't want to talk for so long and having nothing behind, nothing happening. We just want to provide, to really provide services helping people. But we have another organization in France called April, which is uh, pushing politics to use free software or yeah, to specifically free software.
Okay. Do you work alongside them, or is it more of you
Yeah,
kind of believe the same thing, and you're taking your corner and they're taking what they're best at?
yeah, mostly the second way, because we can't do everything. We are not a lot, and we know we are better to when we act than when we do politics.
Oh yeah.
So so yeah, April does the job, and we are friends with them. When we can
Okay.
when we can help each other, we try to do so. But yeah, we won't do their job.
No, and I think that that's valuable, though. Again, being a Linux nerd, we've had these conversations many times in the past where one a piece of software should be very focused on what it does, because it does best when it's focused on that, right, in
Yeah.
small pieces. And I think that that's still valuable for organizations like yourself. You folks have very specific ways that you can help. And there are other people. So I talked to a lawyer, Neil, who he has very specific views, and he knows how to handle that kind of thing and traverse through that kind of thing. So why would I ever try and step on his turf when I know that he can do it, right? As long as you have those open lines of communication, because hopefully, should they ever go, I think you guys have a parliament there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming they go to parliament, it's like, hey, parliament's looking for this alternative for, Microsoft Office. Do you guys have anything prepped and ready to go that we could help all of us together show them like we can get away from that crap? Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah, April is really trying to talk with politics and to they. I think they work on two sides: politics and people, helping people to understand that free software is really necessary, and helping politics to, yeah, to just understand that it's not possible when you have really secret conversations, or even when you don't, just to leave your data as unencrypted, or even encrypted, but on American services, because it's dangerous, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't know what they're doing with that stuff in the background, and as much
Yeah,
as
we don't.
as much as they want to say that we're respecting your laws, we've seen time and time and time again that they really don't. And there's no, technologically speaking, there's no way they can guarantee those things without letting you fully into that, which they're not going to do.
Yeah, actually, I think since Edward Snowden, we know that what's happening with our data. So after that, you can't deny that there is a problem, and that we need, as a government, or uh, a country, we can't deny it, and we need to do something else. We need to have a different digital environment.
So let's say that the French government goes that way. Do you see Framasoft playing a role in that, or is the goal to kind of get it to a point where Framasoft is not needed?
Our objective is really to be, we say, compostable, I don't know, but if we have a very, very nice government doing really nice stuff with digital issues, if I don't know, the government puts a lot of money to put free softwares everywhere, and to fix free softwares when it needs to, like, I don't know, we lack of designers in free softwares. It would be awesome if we could unlock a lot of money and to share it with a lot of free software projects, so we could improve designs everywhere. If we had a government providing free services for anyone, for free, because we need it, we wouldn't need Framasoft. So we will just die, and we will be happy to die. We don't want to,
Right.
we don't want to exist for forever. Our goal is to build a better society. If we have a better society, honestly, I would just take my backpack and start to travel again, just by walking, and I don't want to be behind a computer for my whole life. I just want to.
Right. No,
uh,
and
I,
that's,
I,
I mean, that's the classic freedom fighter, right? We just want
yeah,
freedom. We get the freedom, and then we can go back to our lives, enjoying our lives as we were before. We don't want to have this fight for the rest of our lives,
exactly.
right? And
But I
that's
think we will maybe probably have to have this fight, and I'm fine with it. But please, help us to help us to free ourselves, so we can get our backpack and and just walk.
well, and that's a great point. What is the best way for anyone to help you? Everyone immediately assumes, okay, well, they want it to create an alternative to YouTube, so they want billions of dollars. And I've told people before, like, it does not cost as much as you think to be able to do this stuff. Like, there is nothing that you can't do that Google does. Anything that Google does anymore, I imagine Google actually spends more money powering their advertising machine than they do actually hosting YouTube, right? So
Yeah, I think so.
what is the
How
best way for someone to support you in Framasoft?
there are many ways. You can contribute by first sharing our news, talking about what we do, helping people to understand that there are alternatives. They have choices in their digital life. But you can also contribute by maybe helping to code some free softwares we use, either if that's PeerTube or GT or whatever the software. We use a lot of different softwares, and so if you know how to develop, you can help them. You can help by translating. Translation is something really important
That's
for
huge.
accessibility.
Yeah.
If you want to reach a wider audience, you need to have uh, more options, more languages options, so people from all around the world will be able to contribute. And yeah, you can contribute by just sharing your ideas, saying when you are encountering a bug.
Hmm.
And finally, since we are a non-for-profit, yeah, we need money. Obviously, we have employees, we have an infrastructure we need to pay. So you can help by making donations, but there are a lot of different ways to contribute.
No, and I 100% agree with that. Right. I'm not a software developer. I'm a sysadmin by trade. Like, but I do it because there are no other choices. Right. And it's interesting to hear all this because Framasoft is literally the idea I've had as well, except I'm going at it little bit different. I'm taking PeerTube and I want to set up this PeerTube and go out and start talking with people and be like, hey, you don't have to trust that. I can help get you onboarded. I can set you up with mine. And if you and I disagree, that's fine. We'll get you on your own instance. You can control it. You don't have to be living in my world where all of a sudden I say,
Yeah,
oh, well, you're not allowed to wear a red shirt on a stream because it looks like the inside of a human or something like that. Like, who knows? Like, one of my friends, he's very big into guns. It's an American thing. He's a good person. I don't have any issues with that. But he has told me about a lot of, they call them gun tubers, where they're very responsible YouTubers that like tell you how to be safe with them, how to, break them
mm,
down mechanically and all this stuff. And they're being pushed out because there's a lot of hate towards guns, and YouTube and Google don't want to hurt their bottom line. But you should still have a place for that. And that's what we need to build. And I'm obviously a talker. So that's where I've seen that I can contribute is just going out and talking to people and spreading the word. But one of the things that we never think about is translations, right?
yeah,
A lot of Framasoft is French, and it's written in French because you guys are French. Um, but how amazing would it be if you had someone that could write it in I don't even know if this is a thing, but Hindi or whatever the opposite would be, or Mandarin or Japanese, or and folks discount that as, well, it's not really helping. No, that's massively helping. That is outreaching to an entire demographic that we literally don't have the ability to do. So,
yeah, exactly. And that's why I love the software called Weblate. You know, that's the software which helps us to manage our translations, and which help people with no knowledge in any they don't know how to develop, they don't know most stuff in tech, and they can
yep.
still help to translate. Weblate is an amazing software, and so most of our services are translated by the community using Weblate.
Okay.
So one
It,
of our way to reach a wider audience and to let people know about what we do and enjoy our services. But uh, for Framasoft, we struggle with time, we struggle with energy, so it's hard to manage the translation community around our services.
yeah,
If we wanted to translate all of our articles, we couldn't publish the number of articles
right.
we publish each year and everything. We need to make choices, and that's why for softwares and most of our interfaces you can have translations, but when we need to directly talk to people, we just try to translate in English whenever we can, and
Okay.
whenever it makes sense, but we can't translate it in any language.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and English. Again, as someone that's only speaks English and always speaks it, it seems like English has kind of become that kind of universal language. So it's a big deal in the U.S. when we see other countries. There was, not to get into politics, but there was the Indian Prime Minister recently. With the Pakistan thing, they were talking in English, and then the Pakistan minister was talking in English, and some people were like, "I wonder if that's a big deal," and it's like, no, that is a big deal. Like, they are not just
I think
talking to their people, then they're trying to talk to the world, because we have gotten to this point where English is kind of a universal language. So that is right, just as important to translate.
yeah, it plays a lot of a way of thinking. The language we use, the language we talk with, will play with our mind. Will help us to think in a way and not in another way. So yeah, I think it's a big deal.
Yeah. So for anyone out there that's bilingual, like, they need your help, and it's not something you have to commit 40 hours a week to. You can, hey, I have some free time, I want to feel productive, go there and do that and help them. But we also feel that for those of us that have been around from the start of the internet, this stuff didn't just get made overnight. It got made because of those people. Wikipedia is a great example. Sure, there are those super Wikipedians that create tons of stuff, but there's also those people that just drive by. Oh, I lost Booteille. It crashed. Hang on, I'll get them right back. Oh, no, it did not crash. Give us a minute, everyone. He's
I'm
back.
back.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay. It happens. We're good. I mean, I forgot to hit record at the beginning of this, and you were
Ah,
talking about your stuff, so I messed up as well. It is recording now. It has been recording, but
okay,
um,
okay.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, those folks that just kind of want to help out a little way, just give a suggestion in the GitHub, give a translation. Could be one
Yeah,
translation, can be $1. $1 literally makes a difference. It really does. If last I saw, it's estimated, because we can never know on the Fediverse, right, that there's about 20 to 30 million users. That's 20 or 30 million dollars. Like, what can we do with, as the Fediverse as a whole, with 20 or 30 million dollars? Again, we don't have to pay an executive CEO's salary with that. You just have to pay someone to support some software for a bit, and that's the whole thing I love. Sorry, go ahead.
no, no, you're fine, and you're totally right. There Actually, you don't need to make big efforts to contribute to Framasoft or to any free software project. You just need sometimes just 5 minutes of your time, because you noticed that a translation has been done in incorrectly, and so just go on the translating software,
Yeah.
change the sentence, and that's it. And for, yeah, if you want to to just leave a bug, that's cool. If you want if you want and you can give some money, it's always help. But if you can't, it's okay. It's totally fine. You can help in other ways.
One, I think a good example of this is when originally, again, then I talked to Booteille about doing the interview. You and Framasoft were hesitant because, as you put it to me, we usually avoid personification of anyone from Framasoft since we're working as a team, and we think we should avoid idolatry.
Yeah.
And that's what all this is about, right? Is it really does take a team, and you guys really personify that. How do you in interior to Framasoft, how do you guys work that out? Do you have a manager at the very top that says you have to do this, or you kind of go around kind of wearing everything? How do you guys normally handle something like that?
Actually, we have two colleagues, which are co-directors. Their job is to manage the whole boat. You know, they have to think about the direction we need to go. They have to they help us every day to take decisions and to yeah. Actually, this morning we just ran a crowdfunding campaign, and they have the people telling, yeah, let's go, we do it, we can run we can uh, publish the campaign on the internet, we are ready and everything. So we have some kind of managers, but we are in Framasoft, we are talking, we are not a lot, and we are working on a lot of different subjects. We have an analysis, we have two developers, we have someone working on the support because we have a lot of people asking questions. I'm working on communication, etc., etc. And so we need to be able to have a lot of autonomy. Actually, we have one meeting a week. It lasts it lasts 2 hours. You know, we are working remotely, and after this meeting, we know mostly what we will do during the week, and so after that, we just stay behind our computers, ask questions on our chats when we need, but the whole time we just work on our own.
And but that works for you guys though, right? Because you're all, it seems like
Yeah.
you're all very passionate and driven in order to do this. And when you are passionate and driven for something, the work is just getting you through that passion to the end goal that you want. So it's not like you have to have anyone on your back like, oh, did you do this, did you do that? And you're just like, no, I'm
No, no.
done.
And we always ask to our colleagues, what do you want to do? How could you have pleasure in your work? It's very important to us that we stay passionate. We stay passionate about our work. So so yeah, if I want to, I don't know, if I want to work on something else, I can talk about it with my co-directors, with my colleagues, and we can try to find a way.
Yeah. And so and chat is talking about, there's fragmentation in the Fediverse, which I think is
Yeah.
true. We all have our, you and I were talking about this earlier about, I've run across some YouTubers, or not, they were Twitch streamers where I'm like, this to me seems ethically questionable. And I talked to, I asked a question and everyone's like, no, this is a vastly American audience. No, this is totally fine. What are you talking about? And then I asked some European friends and they're like, no, that's not fine at all. Like, absolutely, there's ethics issues there. And we don't all have to agree on the same thing, but you should have a place that you feel safe having those conversations. And big tech will not allow that, right? Like, if there's something clearly that they've just decided for some reason, they'll just block you. So you're going to go to a more extreme area where you can have your say. I actually look at it with instances kind of blocking each other is, that's actually normal human communication. I have people that I don't really want to talk to, but again, we have that choice, and you're allowed to change your mind and go somewhere else eventually. that, there's probably some people that look at Framasoft. It's like, how dare you try and give people choice and take money away from those poor executives over at YouTube.
I think it's really important to keep choices.
It,
The main goal is that you have the choice to do what, not whatever you want, because it's really important to don't harm other people. I think, but
right,
as soon
yes.
as you don't harm anyone, yeah, just do whatever you want. We I don't want to control anyone. I don't want to control everyone. I want that people can just do whatever they want and in the way they prefer, because they feel confident in this way. They feel better by doing this way. So yeah, if you need to block someone for some reasons and it doesn't harm anyone, just do it.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't care, and that's one of the strengths of the Fediverse, that you have the choice. You don't have the choice on most of other platforms. And not in a communitary way. If you are sharing values with your instant owner, I don't know, maybe anti-fascist values or whatever, you can feel helped by the whole community on the instance you are on, when they are taking decisions following your values. I don't know if you understood what I mean.
no, no, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We all interpret history a different way, right? And you have as right to your interpretation as I do, and maybe we don't agree on that, or maybe at one time we do agree on that, and you join me, and you've changed your mind. You should be free to just walk away and bring everything with you, right? Like right now, I think
Yeah,
so. I had Cory Doctorow on a while ago, and he's basically talking about how he wants to welcome Facebook and Threads onto the Fediverse, because right now, the people that are there are looking at a bad situation versus a bad situation. Facebook, essentially, we feel Facebook is abusing them, right? Whereas they look at it as, that's my community. I can't look away. I can't move away from my community. But if we give them that option to both keep their community and move away, that's probably the most ideal. And then that allows other people, hopefully, to move away as well. But I think from a technical standpoint, we've all looked at it as, they've been bad stewards before. They're just going to try and steal people into that. But I think a lot of us we've learned that lesson. We're sick and tired of that lesson, right? Like we don't want to
yeah,
have that happen.
I agree. I think we know how it will finish. If we give
Right?
Facebook any strength on the Fediverse, they will use it and abuse it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would avoid them in
Yeah.
any situation if I can.
Do you see that Framasoft is wholly in on the Fediverse, like, unless something else comes along that is similar, but is Framasoft very focused on freeing people and doing that through the Fediverse, or how does Framasoft look at the Fediverse?
I don't know. I think we see in the Fediverse a way to communicate with our community. The free software community. But for now, it's not really for a way to communicate with real people. I don't know if you know what I mean, but non-tech savvy people
Right.
which don't know how to use a computer, a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
There are still people which don't know how to use a keyboard, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But most of people on the Fediverse, I think so, uh, uh, actually forgot that once they didn't know how to use a keyboard. And we at Framasoft, we really want to help the whole community because it's really important and they are helping us too. But we want to help people which doesn't know how to use keyboard now. We want
Okay.
to help anyone. So we don't want to just focus on the Fediverse with our communication or with our goals, because we want anyone to be freed from big tech and from this society.
So then, would you also say that? I mean, as it should be, the Fediverse is a tool for you to get a message out, but you have to use other tools as well, and you're going to use that tool where you see fit. Like the Fediverse should
I,
not fully be integrated into the Linux kernel, right? Because no one really wants or needs that. But as far as a content platform, again, like PeerTube, it makes perfect sense.
yeah, it's. I think it's still a little a little bit more than a tool. It's a home for most of us,
Mm-hmm.
because it's where we have our communities. So that's where we can feel in a safe place for not for every one of us, but for some of us, it's really kind of the our home on the internet. So yeah, it's a tool, but it's also a place where we are happy to be and happy to contribute to.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Do you folks have any big plans up and coming that you can announce or anything? I mean, again, I find that PeerTube has drastically changed the landscape. It is not, Odyssey. It is not, what is it, the other Vivo or something like that. Like I get to control my stuff on there. That's why I love it. Do you have any more plans, or what is out there right now are the routes that you guys are taking?
We we don't really know what we will do next because we are always thinking about how can we do better and how to adapt to the society, which is always evolving, especially when you are thinking about the digital society.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, our goal is to enhance PeerTube, of course, because we know we have troubles with accessibility to PeerTube because it's hard to improve the accessibility for a Fediverse service. How to how to bring a service which feels like being centralized when it's decentralized. It's a big question. It's not easy.
No, I've never looked at it like that before. That makes perfect sense. Like we want it to work as you would expect it to work, which is normally a centralized service, but essentially seamlessly integrate a completely decentralized service that can throw anything at you. And
E-
that's massively
exactly.
difficult.
So yeah, we are working on it, but slowly, and we are trying to. I don't know. We need ideas. If you have ideas, help us too. But we have some ideas. Yeah, actually, we still have a roadmap for PeerTube for next years, but it could evolve. It will evolve for sure. And so yeah, for answering to your question, PeerTube is still a big part of our plans. Framaspace, the project I told you before, using Nextcloud for non-for-profit organization. It's one of our big. We have big plans for this one too. And after, I don't know, we do a lot of stuff. We want to yeah, we want to continue to work on our services, free services in the degooglefi um, uh, I forgot the name, the word even in French, but yeah, we want to improve our services on Degolifi for Degolifi because most of our services are built on different softwares, and some of them are in depth technically now.
Uh-huh.
Some services really need to be reworked. So we are working on it right now. We are looking for new services to open, for services which need to be reworked, and how to reach a wider audience without growing, because we don't want to be more. We don't want to be more than a dozen of employees. We
Right.
don't want to be more in Framasoft because we think that once you reach a specific scale, you can't do your job with the same values. You can do it in
Right.
the same way.
Well, and every person you bring in is going to have their own values as to something. You might agree to the top level goal, but how you get there will vastly disagree, right? Like
Yeah,
we've all kind of seen this with different projects throughout the world. Like the only way is through full revolution. Let's hack the big guys and put a virus. It's like, whoa, hang on, no, that is not. Yeah, we agree to the same thing, the same end goal. We just don't agree on how to get there. Like, we're not going down that
yeah,
route. So, and one of the things that actually someone, and it's an obvious question, which is, when I was talking about starting my nonprofit, and it's against big tech, and they're like, well, how are you going to get the word out? It's like talking to people, and they're like, well, are you on Twitter? Are you on Facebook? It's like, no. I'm like, well, isn't that an obvious place to go? And it's like, yes, but it's also completely against the point. So I
yeah.
like, do you guys have a presence in those locations that you're getting the word out, or
Have a what? Sorry, I didn't hear.
do you have a presence on the big tech platforms, Facebook,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
TikTok? Do you?
Actually, we do. Our strategy is to focus on Mastodon,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
to cross post with Facebook, with Blue Sky, because a lot of people went there,
Mm-hmm.
to LinkedIn. So we have a presence on these platforms, but we try to use it as a way to bring them, uh, either on Mastodon, either on our own forums, because we don't want to animate a community on Facebook or on LinkedIn or whatever. We we
Right.
we we just want people to be able to see that something else exists. That's it.
Yeah. And again, have that choice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
I just need to charge my computer, so I will move and sh- shut off the camera for some seconds.
no, you're fine.
But
Well,
I hear you.
yeah. So it's a perfect time, I guess, to talk about while you do that. Talk about every once in a while, PeerTube actually does a like a fund drive, and you guys, Framasoft has their next fund drive to bring in funds and to show what your milestones and goals are. I have it up on the screen now. I'll have links in the description for anyone that wants to actually look at the crowdfunding drive. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Um, I don't know if you have specific questions in the chat about it, but just so people can know, tomorrow we will do an ask me anything on Lemmy. So you will be able to ask your questions, and we will be able to answer to you. Well, yeah, just it. But yeah, the campaign, actually, the crowdfunding campaign is about the mobile app. We have big plans for this mobile app, but we want to improve step by step, and for that we need time. We need mostly time, and so we need time for our developer, and so we need money to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's mostly a way to ask to the community, hey, do you really want that Framasoft put some money and some energy in a mobile app, and do you really want that we put a big focus on it? So yeah, we thought about it in 4 goals. The first goal is to give a peer-to premium for everyone. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
un clin d'œil in French. I don't know how to say in English, but it's a reference to YouTube premium, because you have to pay for basic features on premium,
Right.
like just being able to shut off your screen. That's crazy. And so yeah, if in any case, we said it in the blog post and on the uh, crowdfunding campaign that in any case we will try to work as much as we can on what we said we want to do, even if the crowdfunding is not working, because it makes sense for us. We don't want to have this kind of blackmail with people, like either you give us money, either nothing happens. No, that's not our way of thinking. So in any way, we will work on this PHU premium for anyone, and probably with a second step, which is the use case of video makers. That, yeah, you should be able to upload your videos using your smartphone, because sometimes you are just in the street and you just filmed something really funny or impactful, and you want to share it without having to come back at your home. And um, and so in any way, we will work on these features. But if the crowdfunding campaign doesn't work, we will just know that, okay, our community is not so enthusiastic about the mobile app and what we planned for that, for different reasons, and that's fine. We are totally okay with that. We just need to have a kind of compass that people tell us what they think is the best for the project, and
Mm-hmm.
so we can think about it and try to take that into consideration. And so the third goal will be live streaming from the app. Sorry. And the fourth goal is a little bit specific. This one is really important for us because not especially to reach it, but it's always, yeah, it's important for us to reach this goal. But what we wanted to say with this goal is that, hey, we are Framasoft. We are not just PeerTube. We are doing a lot of stuff
Yep.
which is helping a lot of people all around the world. Let's help them together.
And I think that right there is massively important. If you get over a certain amount, you guys just don't hoard it yourself. You distribute it. You pay the developers, but then you give back to those open source projects that sorely need
Exactly.
funds as well. And that's one of the ideas that I have. But you guys are, if you want to donate and you are not sure, because there's a million different projects and all of them deserve funding, right? And if you trust Framasoft, give your money to Framasoft, and that way, they donate back to the rest of the ecosystem. They don't just take it for themselves and hold on to it and hoard it. And might I say, the PeerTube app, I had used it a while ago, and it was okay. It worked, but you just recently announced PeerTube 1.0, and it's
Oh,
great. And someone that asked, is
network.
PeerTube available
Ah,
on um, is it available on F-Droid? Yes, it is. I run the I run the one from F-Droid, so it absolutely. Uh, uh, I'm gonna have donation links in. I can toss you. Oh, thank you, Beaches. I'll have donation links in the description as well. So everyone should feel free to donate. But the mobile app has already gotten incredibly good. I highly recommend it for those interested in just checking out PeerTube stuff. And even if you think that maybe I don't want to use the mobile app, but I do want to help, a lot of oh, losing Beaches. I'm
oh,
losing Booteille. You're
okay, I'm
fine.
back.
Yeah, no. You're fine. Don't even worry about it. But one thing that
Yeah, I love to.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I lost my Wi-Fi. I don't know why. Computers.
You're fine. I mean, it's the internet, right? It's okay. It could be worse. But one thing that we don't take into account, especially us older IT nerds, is like, I hate my phone. I just want the computer. But if you want to help enable folks, there are a lot of countries, they don't do desktop computers. They kind of skip that age and revolution. And a lot of the society works off of phones. So having
Yeah.
a functioning application on a phone is just as valuable, if not more so, than having an internet presence in my mind, because a lot of folks just default to this, and kids just default to this, and grandma and grandpa now, this is just easier, which is why we need to help free them from that stuff. So I see this as massively valuable. And your last fundraiser, I think, went quite well, and hopefully this will go quite well as well.
Yeah, it was, and thank you very much. I hope so too. But yeah, we will see, and in any case, it's not in our hands anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's up to you guys.
Well, no, and it's everyone always talks about vote with your wallet, and that is true not only for the big guys, but that's true for you, because as you said, it gives you a compass. Okay, people weren't receptive to this. Let's try something else, and maybe they'll be receptive to something else, or it's timing. The Fediverse for years was growing just tiny bits until a specific time hit where lots of people moved over, and some bled back the other way. But timing matters as well. So don't keep trying if this doesn't go as planned. I'm going to be donating to this, but I don't have 75,000 euros. I'm sorry. I'll start with. But again, even think of it this way: there's 20 to 30 million people on the Fediverse. Best guess, because we'll never know. If everyone gave $1 to this, they would be fine, right? Like, you'd hit 75,000 euros. Seems like a lot, but if we all chip away at it a little bit, it's not that much. So I think we had already talked about this, but I'm going to ask again, just in case. What is your idea of success for yourself or for Framasoft?
Actually, it's really living in a society where anyone could feel good, just good, just like if anyone could just have they voice to the chatter. I don't know if you can say that in English, but in French we say avoir la voix au chapitre. So anyone could participate to the society because they have the time, they have the energy, they have whatever they want to do so. So yeah, just live in a good society. If we do that, I will be the most happy, the most happy people in the happier person in the world. And I think Framasoft would have done the job, so we could just retire.
And again, he doesn't mean retire in the sense of I now have $10 billion. I can retire and buy anything you want. No, it is retire knowing that people have a real option in the world to not have to be surveilled on and given away your privacy to be used with however these oligarchs decide to use them.
Right? The job would be done, so we could just do something else. Not as Framasoft, but just as person.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? And I'm the same way. I don't want to start a nonprofit organization, but at this point, we need to get to a point where folks can just even know it exists and have an easy way to get on board. And I think that the technology is there. All of us in the background are there. But also, on the other hand, don't be that guy that's like just nagging everyone. You have to have an open conversation with people that are open-minded about it as well. So, all right. Well, for the real reason I asked Booteille here is to give him an opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime. Prize today is a stack of sticky notes that are neither sticky and actually are already written on and have notes on them. But I thought about getting you a trip to the center of the earth, but I didn't want to put that kind of pressure on you. Are you ready for the quiz?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's try.
All right. Again, no right or wrong answers, but I will judge you harshly. Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
In what?
Why is it Spaceballs?
Spaceballs?
Oh, he doesn't know it. Spaceballs is my
I don't
favorite
know it.
movie of all time. It's from Mel Brooks. It's amazing. But what is your favorite movie?
I think it's The Man from Earth. Just a movie where it's not lasting long, like something like 60, 80 minutes. And it's talking about a guy, a teacher in a university, about to leave, to move for somewhere else after 10 years. And his colleagues come to see him last time and to have a little party. Un pot de départ.
Interesting.
And they ask, why are you leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you move? And he's just asking one question. What if a human from the ancient ages, Cro-Magnon, would have survived until now? How would he be? What would be his life? And so they are just talking about that, and I love it. I don't know if
Okay.
you understood my
I've never.
my
No, I
synopsis.
understood. Yeah, no, I totally understood. I've never heard it. People were telling me in chat that it is Spaceballs is known in France, but it's called, and I can't pronounce this. La folle
Try it.
histoire de l'espace.
Ah, la folle histoire de l'espace. I don't know if it's really this name. I don't know. It reminds me something. Who is the director?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks? No, I don't know. I don't
It's
know. I
it's
don't watch a lot of movies actually.
oh that's fine. It's a Star Wars satire.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's my favorite movie of all time. Sorry. But anyway, next question is French fries, French toast, or French onion soup?
French onion soup, I think.
Oh, so good.
I love onions.
It's a good choice. I mean, I think they're all kind of good choices in different ways. But next question is the Eiffel Tower or Eiffel 65? Do you know
Eiffel
Eiffel
65?
65?
I don't.
Oh, God, I'm so old. Eiffel 65 was a band. They were, I think, two people. Yeah, they were musicians. They have like one.
Ah, okay.
I think they were Italian though. Yeah, their
Okay.
big hit was it was called Blue, and my kid loves that song. So anyway, that's the only reason why I thought
So
about it.
I can still answer. I think I prefer Eiffel 65 because I don't really like Eiffel Tower. It's just like, iron.
It's just iron. That's all it
I,
is. Yeah, it's a
I prefer music in this case.
it's a blight on the skyline. Okay, all right, that's fine. I love that. That's great. What does an alternate universe Booteille do?
Good question. I don't know. Maybe being a tree, So,
Being a
so you
tree?
move but really, yeah, but you move but really slowly, and that's it.
I love that. Because everyone always gives me like real answers, and it's like I always wanted to be a pianist or something, and then I'm like I feel like an a-hole because I always come up with ridiculous ones too. So I love that. He's just a tree. All right. Well, I have a magic alternate universe phone here. It's very technical. I won't get into it. So I reached out to an alternate universe, Bouteille, and he said he actually is a children's coloring book analyst. So what he does is he just takes the coloring books and see if he can colors, and they're able to be colored enough for the coloring. But then you can't use them. So I don't think he's really thought that job through. But hey, what do I know about alternate universes, right? So uh, Next question, because that one was ridiculous and made no sense whatsoever. Apparently, I can see from the look on your face. Running shoes, dress shoes, or sandals?
Actually, barefoot.
Very,
Sandals is only for winter for me, and the whole time I'm just barefoot. You can see in if you see each other at a convention, you will see I'm always barefoot. But
even at conventions?
yeah, I don't give a shit. I just want. And, actually, it was last year. I was in not in really the European Commission, but one of the office around, and I was there for Framasoft, and I can tell you the carpet was really really smooth.
Hey man, you do you. I love that. That's fine. I actually have socks on today because it's cold in my house, but I'm at home. I'm barefoot. Out and about, I got to wear shoes. I don't know. This place is gross. So, hey, that's awesome. All right, and as usual, the last question we have will be sent to you telepathically. I'll send the question to you telepathically. I'll let you know when it's arrived, which you'll know because we're telepathic. But for our audio listeners, it will give them the hint that it has been sent. And then you just let me know the answer to the telepathic question. Easy as that, right? So here it comes. Okay. The question's there. What's your answer?
42, obviously.
42. Man, that's always, I don't know why. That's always, you're like the third or fourth person. That's the answer, right? I mean,
because when you don't know the question.
I did ask him what's 21 plus 21, so.
Oh, really?
His internet's going out, so the telepathic question didn't get to him as well, apparently. So, but congratulations, you got every answer, either correct or incorrect. Good job.
Thank you.
I sent our community member Intraz to deliver your prize, but he attempted to note your address on the stack of not sticky not notes. And since he obviously couldn't, because you can't write notes on them, he remembered that it was a prize, but he just thought it was for him, so he kept them. So I apologize, you're not going to get your prize, but I'll make sure the next time I see him to punish him accordingly, because I'm sure you wanted those not sticky not notes.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Booteille, for joining me. It was an absolute honor talking to you, and thank you so much to all that you've done and all to the Framasoft team has done. Please extend my thanks to them all of them, all 20 volunteers, all 10 direct workers. You folks are helping. I really feel you're helping build a more free and open internet. Keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. Folks, don't forget to donate to Framasoft for all their amazing work. Just to toss myself in there now, I am still getting BT free set up as well. We are applying for 501c3 status as well, which is also tax deductible. So give to Framasoft if you want to give to me, and trust Framasoft. Give to Framasoft. Please consider tipping your admins and developers as well directly. If we all just give $1, as I said, that'd be more than enough to go around for everyone to keep this amazing project going, this experiment of can we be open without all of that other overhead. No single one of us can do everything, but together we can all do anything we want. Everyone, take care of yourself, stay safe, be kind and compassionate to yourself and to others, and we'll see you on the next episode. Have a wonderful day all. Bye.
Thank you.